You ever get that warm, fuzzy feeling when playing a video game? That content happiness just because a game brings back good memories? I'm Easy Flames, and we're going to count down my top 10 nostalgic games. Everybody has things that trigger their nostalgia. Smells, sounds, music. Video games are no different. So today I'll be taking a walk down memory lane and sorting out just what games have that special spot in my heart. As most of these lists are very subjective, this one is certainly no exception considering we're talking about my personal experiences. So if you have games that give you that comfortable feeling, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Also be sure to subscribe so we can go on this YouTube adventure together and look back at this first encounter through rose-tinted glasses. Alright, let's burn through this list.
Number 10!
It's only fitting to start this list off with a game that should probably be on everybody's list. Super Mario World was the first video game I had ever played, and I played it several times, man. My last playthrough of it was last year. That's how much this game has stuck with me. Now, where a lot of games win me over with storyline, this one has my nod out of sheer childhood memories. I mean, playing it with my family over and over, those were fun times. This game created a beast and is probably part of the reason why I'm doing this whole YouTube thing. So thanks, Mario, and I'm sure I'll see you on this list soon. Also, shout out to when my parents and I spent a long time trying to figure out how to get through a door. It was our first game, cut us some slack, and thank you to the guy at Sears who told us that we just had to look up and yeah.
Number 9!
I'm going to say it now. Some of the franchises on this list are going to be grouped together, either because there are so many or because I found it so difficult to pick just one. Here I introduce Final Fantasy. Although every Final Fantasy I've ever played is amazing, my focus here is on 7, 10, and Crystal Chronicles. 7 was my first Final Fantasy. It was my first, longest game I've ever played. I put a lot of time into that sucker. Still do. 10 sticks out to me because it was my first PlayStation 2 game, and it was just a huge change in my gaming experience. All the cutscenes and the voice acting, it was yes. And Crystal Chronicles might come as a surprise, but it's awesome. My brother Icy Cool and I spent a lot of playthroughs traveling together, fighting together. It's just an amazing adventure to go on with a friend. All three of these games have stories and characters that I fell in love with, and that's the way to win me over. Story and characters. If you can make my heart melt with that combination, then you will definitely be on this list.
Number 8!
And that brings me to Dragon Age. This is the most recent game I've played on this list. It's not so much childhood nostalgia as it is just remembering how much I loved my first playthrough. A friend suggested the game to me, and I immediately fell in love with the characters. I chose the Kuzland origin, so I picked up a hatred for Arl Rendenhal, and I mean real hatred. I held a personal vendetta to take that fool out regardless of the main goal of the game. I wanted him gone. And I had a moment where I accidentally led Liliana on, but ultimately started a relationship with Morgan, and I felt so bad for Liliana. She was so sad. And there are so many more things that I just loved, and that's what is amazing about this game. It was able to bring out all of those emotions: love, hatred, sadness, and as silly as it is, I hold those memories in high regard.
Number 7!
At number 7, we move back from storyline to straight up childhood memories. I love memories with my family, and we were in love with this game. Tetris and Dr. Mario was just a regular routine every few nights while I was growing up. We'd get our dinner, gather around the Super Nintendo, and the four of us would just have constant battles with each other, and it was just plain fun. Those are the memories that make me love this game. I don't think I've ever played it alone. It's just not the same without them around. Papa Flames was a beast at Tetris, and Mama Flames rocked Dr. Mario. And now don't tell them, but I'm pretty sure Icy Cool and I have both surpassed them. But hey, we had good teachers.
Number 6!
I have no clue what caused young Easy Flames to pick up this game. I mean, I've always loved horror games, but I just don't remember making the conscious decision to grab Resident Evil 2 from Blockbuster. But I did, and I regret nothing. Resident Evil 2 and 3 were my first introductions into the series, and the survival horror genre as a whole. There is nothing like the scared feeling of playing a Resident Evil game for the first time. And 2 and 3 capture that feeling perfectly. Resident Evil 5 plays a role here as well, as it was the first time that Icy and I could actually team up and take on the zombie apocalypse. And we had so much fun taking on the story as a duo. We also fell in love with the storyline, as convoluted as it can be. But I guess that just adds to the fun. Thinking up theories, trying to figure out why things are happening. And boy do we love arguing about plot theories.
Number 5!
I was hoping that shell would save me. I was freaking out.
Our family loved Mario. So much that I couldn't fit his games into one group like I did with Final Fantasy and Resident Evil. It just didn't feel right. The memories are so different and unique, and I just had to make sure that each one got its time. If you don't have a memory of wanting to fight your family and friends over Mario Kart, then you have not lived yet. You're missing out. Whether it was myself as Yoshi, Icy as Bowser, or Mama Flames as Donkey Kong, we got hours of enjoyment out of racing and battling each other in this game. I don't know why it's such a vivid memory, but I recall a day that I stayed home sick from school, and Mama and I played some Mario Kart while I ate a Lunchable, and I remember the strangest things. But stuff like that is why games like this are on lists like these.
Number 4!
Come on now! Whether you're a 90s kid, a millennial, or born yesterday, you have or will grow up with Pokemon. Whether or not you're as obsessed as I am, that's another thing. I friggin' love Pokemon. I'm including Gens 1 through 3 simply because I replay those so much that I honestly haven't touched the newer games yet. I suck, I know. It's a thing. But let me just run through a list of nostalgia here, and you'll see why this is number 4 for me. The show, the cards, playground rumors about finding Mew in Gen 1, the nights I spent in the car with my little Game Boy Light playing Gen 2, waking up early to make sure I could catch a ladybug, the so many times Icy and I battled on Gen 3, my cousin and I making a Mew detective agency because we were sure that we could find a Mew in Cinnabar Mansion, buying Pokemon Crystal at Sam's Club. That memory sticks out to me for some reason, I don't know. My all Growlithe playthrough of Fire Red, finally filling out the Pokedex, finally getting a Mew thanks to the little gift thing they did last year. I could go on, guys. And once I finally get to the newer gens, I know I'll have fond memories of those too.
Number 3!
If you're watching my current playthrough of Super Mario RPG, firstly, thank you so much! I appreciate it, I really do. I really appreciate you just watching me nerd out over a game that I love so much. This was my first ever RPG game and introduced me into the genre that would open me up to so many games that could have made this list. The story is amazing. You already know I love Mario. Everybody loves Geno. I remember playing this several times. So many times I could probably almost retell each moment with pristine accuracy. Shoot, when I was 7 or 8, I tried to break the game down and make my own strategy guide for it because I'm a nerd and I like statistics and organization, but that's not the point. The point is, I wanted to know every detail about this game. It was all I wanted to play for the longest time, and even to this day, it can bring back the excitement and emotion that it did when I first played it.
Number 2!
It's strange, because games like this are not what I typically play, but years of Icy and I's childhood was spent playing Perfect Dark, whether it be alone or with friends. We destroyed the main campaign several times over, the challenges, the combat simulator, everything. It just has so much replay value. If night mode gaming was a thing when I was 10, 11, 12, then this would be the only game on it. Icy and I spent several late nights running through as Joanna Dark and Shanae. That was the blonde Player 2 girl. That is her given name. We have give many things names that aren't really their names. It's just what we do. This is Shanae. This is the Funny Gun. This is Sipsmo. And this is Smiley. We love Smiley. And he loves you. The best part about Perfect Dark is that we're not perfect at this game. So every time we play it, it's still a challenge, which is awesome. And right now, I just want to play it again. There are so many games I want to put on this list that I didn't have room for, but I want to throw a few in and give out a few shoutouts, so here we go.
Shout out to you!
I hear that people don't like this game, but I'm easy to please. The family and I love the show and the game. Shout out Home Improvement.
We're almost good enough.
Of all the wrestling games, Icy and our friends probably replayed this one the most. The season mode was epic. Shout out WWF SmackDown 2.
You're a little okay.
A game that my brother and I replayed so many times, not to mention our first introduction into YouTube with our Let's Plays over on Easy to Be Icy. Shout out Kirby Air Ride.
But not good enough to win.
I rented this once from Blockbuster and spent the next 19 years trying to find it again. Finally found it in the store a year ago. Sometimes it's not the game, but the adventure. Shout out
Maybe next time.
Characters that I already love mixed with a confusing but heart-wrenching story. Yep, you amazing. Shout out Kingdom Hearts.
Shout out to you. Number 1!
Take a game that has lovable characters who grow over the course of the plot, a story that is a roller coaster of emotions, and gameplay that is just plain fun. If Breath of Fire 3 isn't my favorite game of all time, it's certainly the one I'm most emotionally invested in. I don't even know where to start with this game. My friend introduced me to it and I became addicted. It pretty much takes aspects from every other nostalgic feeling on this list and combines them. Like Perfect Dark, I remember many late nights playing this. Like Dragon Age, I've formed such strong emotional bonds with characters. That hatred that I had for Hal that I mentioned earlier, multiply that, and that's my hatred for Loki. The hatred is so strong that when Thor became a thing and everyone wanted to cosplay Loki from the movie, I was instantly triggered. I don't care if it's a different character in a different series, the name gets me. I hate the name, I hate him. I hate you, Loki. Like Geno in Super Mario RPG, I found one character that became my favorite thing ever. But unlike Geno and his popularity, I hardly find people who even know of Ray or this game in general, so I even get that hipster nostalgia. Hey, I play a game that nobody else does, ain't that special? And like Resident Evil was my gateway into the survival horror genre, Ray was probably my gateway into the furry fandom, for better or worse, I guess, I don't know. What makes things better is that for whatever stupid reason, compared to the other games on this list, I've hardly replayed this game. Which is awesome, because that means every time I do replay it, everything feels new. I don't have every little bit memorized, and all those emotions are fresh and natural, and it just makes me happy. If I played Breath of Fire 3 for the first time today, would I like it? Yeah! Would I still form all these memories and bonds to the same extreme that I did when I was younger? You know? Maybe not? And that's why nostalgia is such a weird and magical thing. A lot of it is about timing. The right triggers evoke the right emotions at the right time, and that feeling sticks with you for life. Whether my love for these games is silly, unfounded, or unpopular, the fact is that it's my love. And your nostalgic feeling for your favorite games? That's your love. That's why it's so neat to discuss these things, guys. We all have different experiences with different games, and it's amazing. Let me know in the comments what games get you deep in your feels, and if you have videos of you playing those games, let me know. I want to see them. I love seeing people get excited about stuff like that. So shout out to the memories, old and new, and may the emotions keep on coming.
Hey, thanks for watching. Now it's time for some awards. For third place, Super Mario RPG gets the Bronze Boys Can Play with Dolls 2 award. For second place, Perfect Dark gets the Silver That's Not How You Say It award. The winner, Breath of